Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time Sports. Harry McCullough here. It is, it's summertime, and summertime is camp time. Nichols, of course, has the big lineman camp. They have the Mannings camp, but they also have another camp. It's a pro football camp that is July the 21st at Nichols, and they're expecting around 400 athletes to come in town. It's the 16th year of the pro football camp. It is now started back in the day as just a good way to get kids out there, kind of do a combine kind of thing. Now Nichols is involved, and it's a great way to learn from a lot of great coaches and a lot of good athletes, and show off if you can play on the next level. So here to talk about it is, of course, Coach Don Rodrigue. I appreciate it. He's going to bring in a bunch of coaches with him. David Elias is a LA orthopedic surgeon. LA Ortho is the name of your group. And of course, Brian Wallace is the special teams coach, coordinator, and defensive line coach over at Nichols. So guys, thanks so much for being here, and we appreciate it. Hey, David, let me start with you, because you and your brother started this 16 years. Y'all missed a year because of COVID. Tell me how this camp started and how important this is now to your late brother who passed away.
So the camp was started in my first year in practice. My brother, Albert Elias, was a sports agent, and we wanted to just do a camp and really do something to give back to the community. So we started a 501c. The camp is a nonprofit organization. And I think the first year we did the camp was in 2007. He was an agent. He would bring in a lot of his current players at the time, and a lot of them were LSU players. And they would come to Nichols, and I got involved with Coach Rod. I had met him in my first year in practice, and we needed help running the camp because these players come in, they don't want to run the camp. They just want to show up. So my brother would bring his players, and Coach Rod, Coach, of course, knows every high school coach in the area. So he would get some high school coaches, and we kind of just put a camp together, and we called it the Pro Football Combine Camp at the time. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of that was at the time when combines were real popular. So we kind of did half the camp was doing combine drills, and then the other half was positional drills with the pro players and the high school coaches running it. When we first started the camp, it was, like I said, we had 80 people, and just wanted to form a camp that was affordable but high quality. And the camp grew each year. And in 2012, he passed away, and we kind of decided to keep doing the camp just to see, would it keep growing, or would it eventually wilter away? And I got involved with Nichols in 2015 with Coach Rebo, and we were always doing the camp at Nichols, and I was always like, why am I doing this camp at Nichols? I need to be doing it with Nichols. So Nichols got involved, Coach Rebo got involved, and really the camp just took off after that, because then it became a camp that was, the quality of the camp just kept growing. You had Coach Rebo and his staff and all his players. You had Coach Rod continuing to grow the high school coaches. I mean, we'll have over 40 high school coaches, head high school coaches, and top assistants come coach it. And then you had all these former and current NFL players come in, also get players from LSU, UL. So we'd get some current college players too. And the camp just grew, and we've kept doing it. It's stayed a $50 camp. It stayed a community camp, and we're excited to do it again this year.
Yeah, so profootballcamp.org is the way you can sign up, and it's $50, which is a great exposure, which is, Brian, where you guys come in. So tell me where Nichols comes in on this, and how you guys work with Symmetry with this.
So we kind of coordinate the camp with the high school coaches on the drills that we're running and on the itinerary for the day. And so we get a chance to evaluate the players at the camp, but also teach the kids, football specific drills, and, with the combine aspect of it. A lot of these kids are going to camps across the state for recruiting. But when they go to these camps, they might not know how to run a 40. They might not know how to do the pro drill, which is the 5-10-5 or the L drill. So we try to give them coaching points when they go to these camps, other camps, or if they're underclassmen their next year, that they understand how to do it so they can perform better.
Yeah, that's awesome. And look, now I know they had chips in the uniforms, right? And so are we still doing combine stuff? Do we still care what a 40-yard dash is?
I think that people still do, but at the end of the day, it goes back to us as coaches is what's on the tape. What are they doing on Friday nights? So I think that part of the testing part kind of confirms that. He looks fast on film? Well, how fast is he?
High schools don't have the chips probably, huh?
Some of them do, but
right.
it's few and far between.
Yeah, that is great. And for you guys, you get an up close look at these kids, right?
We get to work one-on-one with them, hands-on, so we kind of get to see how they compete, how they take to coaching. We kind of they get to know us, we get to know them a little bit more, so it kind of furthers the recruiting process with a lot of these guys. And but we also get to know the local guys in the area, so I think that's big for us.
Yeah, Coach Ron, I thought you retired, man. You're going to see more players, 2,200 players between the three camps. You're going to do a lot of coaching over the next month or so.
Well, I do a lot of organizing. The coaching part is in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I don't do it in the instruction. Just gathering the quality guys that they're going to go on the field and take that freshman and make him a better player.
Right.
And that's at the end of the day. That's what camps. That's our philosophy for the camps.
Right, you guys are teachers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then every coach from Terrebonne Parish, every coach, every school in Lafourche Parish will be involved with the camp. A few from St. Mary, St. James. I think I got one from Lutcher, and so on.
Well, let's talk about last year. Y'all had 430?
430. The first year was under 100.
Right.
And then, 15, 16 years later, it's 430.
David, can you talk a little bit about how you've seen it evolve since the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, the camp, certainly when we started it, I never envisioned that we'd have this many kids, this many coaches, but, it's a phenomenal camp. The camp is a nonprofit camp, and it's affordable, but it's top quality. I mean, we will get probably, I always say this, it's probably 2 to 3 to 1 instructors to athletes. Even though we have 430 kids, we've got, Nichols is out there with all their coaches and players. You've got 40 or 50 high school coaches. You've got another 20 former pros or current college players. And then you have a lot of volunteers that are out there too. And it's a really top quality camp. And, each year we try to say, what can we do better? And I think the camp has evolved in quality, in numbers, and it's shown by the numbers that it's grown. I remember when we first started, we were calling up high school coaches and begging them to bring their kids there because I've got these pro guys coming in, I want kids to be there, and now we're getting to the point where like, do we have the room for growth? So it's a good problem to have, and it's all because of the people involved. Coach Rod has been here from day one with the high school coaches. Nichols being involved has helped tremendously. And like I say, the camp, we try to give back. We make a point to give back to the community.
Yeah, scholarships, right?
We do. We have a scholarship. We raise money from the community. And all the money that's left over after putting the camp on, we give back to the community. We give back to local high schools and charities. We started a scholarship fund probably 10 years ago. And what we do is we award a senior attending the camp who goes to a 4-year college. They can apply for a college scholarship. This past year, we gave 4 $1,000 scholarships out. Since starting the scholarship fund, we've given over $40,000 out. So again, if you're a high school senior this coming year and you attend the camp, you can apply for that scholarship.
Yeah,
and it's not an athletic. It's a based on community service, athletic performance. You don't have to go play college football to get the scholarship.
Right. Well, might be NIL for a Nichols player or something. Right? If we get a guy who runs a 4.2, we'll give him 4. We go to Nichols. Hey, Brian, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Hey, how does this help recruiting? It used to be the coach, you'd see him on the sidelines watching games on Friday night. I know these camps are big now, the 7-on-7s, the circuit everybody does. Seems like that's how everybody does a lot of recruiting. How big does this work? Does that fit in that puzzle for you guys?
Well, I think it's a huge piece for us. Last year at the camp, there's going to be that 8 kids that we got from last year's camp are going to be on our roster in the fall. And if you look at our roster overall, almost maybe 40% of our roster is made up with kids who have attended this camp.
Wow.
So it's a great way, not only local kids, but guys we're recruiting throughout the state in the Gulf region, Gulf Coast region. One, they get on campus. They come see Thibodaux. They come see our campus. They come see our facilities. They get coached by their position coach, who could be their potential college coach. So again, that relationship's starting to build. And then we get to see them compete and perform, and if they kind of fit the mold for what we're looking for in our program. So I think it's been a huge asset to us, for us to work with David and Ortho LA to have this camp on our campus. I mean, you talk about 430 kids just there for football that see our facilities, and some of these kids are 8th and 9th graders. So they might maybe not go as a 10th, 11th, but they'll come back as seniors, but they've already done all that, and we get to know them, they get to know us. So it's been big for us.
Yeah, the experience, I remember as a kid, so it might have been 1968 or something. I was at Terrebonne Stadium. Rich Jackson, you remember Rich Jackson?
Yep.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's from Louisiana, played for the Denver Broncos, and he was just out there. I think Randy Gratishard might have been out there too. So, but I never, again, it's in my mind. I remember associating with that guy over at Terrebonne Field, and it touched me. So that can be with these kids that are running into NFL players and LSU and Nichols players. It's big for them to have that.
Jarvis Green, who Donaldsonville, played at LSU, was an All-American, played for the Patriots, got 2 or 3 Super Bowl. When he's the pass rusher. He takes those guys off to the side and he's talking to them and he's giving them hints, and then he works with those guys. He's wonderful with kids. And he comes often.
It's great to see a guy like that in person, right? You see him on TV, but when you actually shake their hands, that big bear paw, you're like, go, maybe I can do this too, right? I mean, some of us are built like that.
I think one of the things, the pros sit down, we get all the campers, and they tell them, books are important. Being in the streets important. What you're doing in the classroom. And all of them talk about it and tell them. I was sitting in your spot 10 years ago, and and I didn't realize, but he said, now I'm telling you, you better take care of your books, take care of your mom, take care of the streets, take care of the classroom. Just be a good person. And they send a message. It's a great moment for those high school kids.
Yeah, it really is. So again, the way to get involved, $50, profootballcamp.org is the way to go online and check it out. I'm sure they can sign up at registration.
They can sign up the day of the camp.
Day of the camp too. So again, the camp is July 21st, Friday at Nichols. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Can't wait to see you guys in Thibodaux.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back with more Bite Time after this.